Check, check. Okay, let's try. Check. Alright, hopefully that's loud enough. Alright, let's just check if there's any weekly. Oh, we must have rolled contracts. Let me check. Charterbait should tell me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're on the use. Why is this not updated for you? Wonder if there's any differences. Because all of these are off now. It's weird. Usually they change only when it rolls, but everything's already changed on fly modes. So maybe it did roll, but then they didn't update the symbol, just the title. But anyways, this is probably good to do either way. You know what? I might just start fresh. Alright, yeah, weekly fair value gap there. A bearish one here. And we'll worry about these later. So far, these are just the only ones that are relevant so far. Daily. So we're getting a nice big one here to the downside. And if it shifts, that's a clear market structure shift, probably to retest these lows, soup out this wick. Yeah, so far on the daily, not much, just besides the move down. 4 hour, obviously, fair value gap there. On Dow Jones. Let's check. Yes. Yeah, same thing on ES. Looks like we've two. I think that Russell's still gonna go for now. Yeah, on the weekly, we've rejected this weekly inefficiency. NASDAQ, nothing really, completely disrespected that one. Though we did close below it, so that's slightly relevant. Big inefficiency here. And yeah, we did close daily candles. I guess I'll just include this one. So I will make it more. Yeah, technically there is a gap here. Alright, and that's basically it. So I'll go just on the individual charts. So yeah, 4 hour, I mean, we are shifting lower. We've shifted below all of these lows. Makes sense we continue lower. We got smooth lows there. Now we got relative equal lows here. Put this low there right next to it. So just note that that's like right there. So it'll most likely take that low out as well. And yeah, I'm interested in this wick. If we're going to keep going lower, I think we could easily take out these lows. If we're going to hold this level still, we would, yeah, use this wick maybe. Um, yeah, Dow Jones being really weak here, whereas ES and NASDAQ are almost all the way back up to the all-time highs. Dow Jones stock index chart. Just took out all those smooth highs I was looking for it to sweep. That makes sense. Weekly, still holding that weekly bearish fair value gap. And then same thing here, just smooth lows, back into that old new week opening gap. Relative equal lows below there. Setting up relative equal lows here too. So similar area of interest there. Seems like we'd want to go lower. Yeah, on the 4 hour, we came and souped and manufactured these highs here, and then took out the smooth highs on Dow Jones. So yeah, just a bunch of smooth highs. YM manufactured liquidity there at the high. Took out the high. This was like the real, this was, I was saying this was the tariff high, but this is like the real swing high inside of when the tariffs were like kind of announced, like before they actually were ever a thing. All right, but yeah, it just looks bearish for now. Um, oh, excuse me. All right, so yeah, we've got 4 hour, huge 4 hour shift here. We've kind of got like a nice little inverted zone there. Kind of lines up with this inversion, interestingly enough. But yeah, this would be a big pool of liquidity above this high. And then we've got this imbalance, so yeah. Um, so yeah, 4 hour chart, we are shifting lower, but we need to see how this ends up playing out. On the 1 hour, we have a nice, excuse me, displacement lower, but we did go pretty deep. Makes sense for it to bounce here, maybe, I don't know, maybe come back up into this, go lower, who knows, we'll see. Let's see the ranges. So this was PM session, lunch manipulation over the AM. big move in Asia the other day. So yeah, we'll see how things set up. The VIX was really up. Um, Pretty big VIX pop there. Souped out these relative equal lows. It's already met a possible target there, so it could be done. We'll see. But it looks like the Bears have kind of they've played out. Bearish side has played out. At least, like, you know, unless there's more. So it makes sense that this would happen. Obvious possible pool of liquidity that we might be gunning for. And we had previous SMT here, just to double check that. This was the low into any week opening gap. So there's a PD array there, but at the same time, this is a nice swing low here. We didn't take out the low. And there was some weird SMT here. So who knows? Maybe this is going deeper. You know what? Actually, I'm sure we've reached a premium, but let's double check. Yeah, definitely reached it. But yeah, we did soup that high out. Everybody else has souped that high. So it is a little. This has got even higher than these charts have gone almost to the actual all-time highs. So yeah, I mean, this looks like it's manufacturing liquidity again at the all-time high. So we do have like that wedge sort of playing out. Um, but I would love to see this just be a manipulation as retail patterns go. And yeah. Okay, this is interesting. So Russell, yeah, last time there was an SMT like this, we had a pretty big move though. So last time we had Russell SMT here above this swing high. Oh wait, let's look at, sorry, let's look at this chart. So yeah, Russell made a nice SMT here. We had YM come up and like change in character, sweep the high, and then we got a huge move down. So this is similar. We didn't take it out here on Russell, but here on the stock index charts, we did, and a similar thing kind of happened. We got above this, changing character with YM, big move down. This is similar. This is a nice, this is like the big move down. So this took that out on a quick move up. So now that kind of makes sense why we're getting this pullback. Pullback, uh, at least IWM has souped out this high. Now we're back below. Uh, just symmetrically, it looks like it could come lower. We've got like smooth lows, but yeah, let's see. I mean, we have already taken out a lot of liquidity already on this move. So, but yeah, it makes sense to go a little bit lower just based on the levels it's creating here. And let me look at this big move here. Yeah, interesting. So we got that big move on Russell. So, and then we did get like a weird divergence there, just like we did, like I just mentioned. And this even happened with the other indices. So yeah, nice possible short opportunity there. Interesting. So yeah, this was the high. So yeah, if you zoom in now, it is S&P because this was the high here, and then we came and took it out. This was the high here on Russell, and then even here we took it out, and then even here we took it out. So this shorting here would have been absolute money. And it's funny because that on ES it like lines up, Nasdaq lines up perfectly for the order block. Perfect entry there on the order block, and that would have been the perfect short there. If you knew that this was a higher time frame setup, which you could have known because of this big soup, you could just look for a soup back below, which probably would have been into this inefficiency there. Um, on Nasdaq, I mean, smooth lows. That's what I would look for. I like the smooth lows. We just manufactured that low. But I would have watched it for the YM. So YM has already taken all of this out. Smooth lows. Now we're at this low. So this is like definitely the swing low I'd be looking for. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but you would have at least gotten 13R out of that, which is amazing. So yeah. Anyways, that's just like the big time reversal trade. Other than that, let's continue our analysis. Yeah, big. I'm just gonna go ahead and mark this out for now. Well, we just you can just assume this is just a big inefficiency from Friday. All right, ES. Yeah, now we can go to the daily. Nothing that's imbalanced yet. 4 hour. 4 hour. This came way up here. Yeah, this came way up and totally rebalanced this whole range almost. Yeah, this is a similar thing where we've got like a wedge here. Wedge situation. So this is totally like what's been going on here. doesn't really matter how accurate this route is. But yeah, the wedge is playing out, and usually they play out to the low here, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, 4 hour. This has all been rebalanced. Um, and the highs are smooth now. I wouldn't even look for that. But on the way down, we do have this inefficiency. Nothing crazy, but that's kind of where the smooth lows end at least. Depends on how steep this is going to go. If this displaces again, then yeah, it's probably going to go for the low. But yeah, NASDAQ daily, same thing. No inefficiencies on the daily. 4 hour, same thing as ES. 4 hour, this inefficiency already got balanced. Relative equal lows here on ES2. NASDAQ, we got the same wedge. Similar wedge thing going on. That's basically it. Oh, I guess we can look at SPY. Yeah, same thing. SPY rejecting that final inefficiency. Smooth lows all the way down. Big old gap there. We'll see. Seems like we could go a little bit lower at least. Qs bouncing at that gap that I had. Still a big gap there. So yeah, now I really just needed. Oh wait, let's do Russell. Whew. Maybe I should redraw all this too. Russell, this has all been inverted. Inverted daily. This has also been inverted. That's already assumed. This has been disrespected. There's so many old drugs. But yeah, this there's a daily fair value gap here that got tapped into, but it did get pretty disrespected. I mean, this makes sense for this to bounce here though. I bet on the 4 hour it's still inefficiencies. Yeah. So it kind of held this inefficient area with the order block. Makes sense that we got the bounce, and then we rebalanced everything. So yeah. And then yeah, big ass wick to retest into. And my contacts are messed up right now. This week we've got ESM orange folder on Monday, core retail sales on Tuesday, Wednesday unemployment claims, FOMCs. Oh, so this is FOMC week. Where's the news? FOMC week. Uh, Also, what was last week's CPI? I just never saw it. Yeah, CPI down to 0.1, 0.1 month over month, core year over year 2.4, so it is improving. But yeah, was that on news? That wasn't even on the news, was it? I guess it was. I'm like, die. Yeah, it'll be good trading this week. Times to avoid though. Wednesday, Wednesday after the open. Wednesday after the opening and trades. So yeah, that's basically the only time that I should avoid. Um, all right, flows. Flows have been bearish the last 3 days. Let's just get an idea of what the last 3 days even were. Well, last 3 days were since the high. So yeah, bear flows all week. SPY. Tide was very divergent bearish at the high, but I do kind of want to look back a bit more. So yeah, bullish into the high, at the high, very, very bearish on the tide. Though, we have been having like bear flow like the whole time we've been at the highs here. So maybe it's finally going to play itself out. We had really bearish flows, extremely divergent, but the volume just wasn't there. Most of the bear flows came like 6 days ago. So like back into this. Dow Jones and Russell, similar thing. It's been pretty bearish accumulation here. On days up, we did have some green, but really big divergent flows on the way down. Russell had some insane call selling, like a ridiculous amount, almost negative 100 million in calls being sold premium wise. Oh, there goes my contact lens. QQQ also extremely bearish on the high, so it totally makes sense that we're coming down. Puts have been being sold on that bounce, but calls were continuously sold, and then we diverged again bearishly. So I think we're just playing out the bear flows, and I'll fill this out in a second. I gotta fix my contact lens, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. Just look for shorts as usual. Look for the real draw liquidity from the high. We'll have to figure out what that is. But